Singlish, right? How many of you, hands up, say Singaporeans? Really? You do that? Right? But Singlish, that's what we're all about, and we're very proud of it because we are Singaporeans. Right? But there's something else I want to relate to you this afternoon that we can be very proud of, but not yet. My wife May gives birth. Just let me know. He said okay, but he never did. And so for the few weeks that I was in prison, I was wondering, really going through a very tormenting time, wondering if there's something happened to May, there were any complications. And on top of that, I had just come through a few years of getting sacked by the university after I joined the opposition. And then thereafter, when I disputed my dismissal, I was sued. And we ended off having to sell our house and our car to pay off the damages. My prison sentences came about because of activities like this. When it's second nature over here, but in Singapore, even for one person to do a protest, that's a no-no. Have you heard our rulers say that progress is measured by GDP growth, by international rankings, by the size of our reserves, and achieving and maintaining this requires Singaporeans' obedience and conformity. You rock the boat, everything then gets torn asunder. But here's the big question. What happens when a system built for yesterday's economy meets the challenges of tomorrow's world? And if you haven't guessed it by now, tomorrow's world is already here. Artificial intelligence is already transforming the landscape of work. Routine jobs are being automated, creative ones disrupted, and even knowledge professions are under threat. Jobs, especially for you Gen Zs, are increasingly harder to find. And in this new economy, what will distinguish us as humans is not our efficiency, because ChatGPT outperforms us any time of the day in this department. And it's most certainly not our willingness to conform, because robots can do much, much better than that. No, it's our ability to connect as a community, to imagine, to create, and yes, to question and disagree. In other words, to be human. And yet these are the very qualities our system suppresses. The questioning mind, the dissenting voice, the willingness to take risks. The PAP insists that freedom, including the freedom to think and express ourselves, is a danger to stability. But here's the stark truth. We cannot foster innovation by programming fear and conformity. Creativity is not forged by punishing those who think differently. To reinforce this point, I can do no better than to quote Steve Wozniak, Steve Jobs, co-founder of Apple. He said that a place like Singapore would never be able to produce a company like Apple. Look at structured societies like Singapore, where bad behavior is not tolerated and you are extremely punished. Where are the creative people? Where are the great artists? Where are the great musicians? Where are the great writers? A joint study by Duke and US Medical School with Institute of Mental Health ran the numbers, and they found that productivity loss due to mental health issues amounted to $15.7 billion annually. That's 3% of GDP. And then you add the inflow of foreign funds, buying up loads of expensive real estate. You have the recipe for disaster. Don't take it from me. This is what former PAP Member of Parliament, Inderjit Singh, what he said: Singaporeans will be priced out of the private property market as we continue to see a flood of foreign funds flow into Singapore. I know that there is still fear among you, and that fear drives you to stay silent and to stay safe. But I always tell everyone that ships are safe in the harbor. But that's not what ships are made for. So let us stand. Unbroken, unafraid, let us rise, not with anger, but with courage, not with hatred, but with hope. And let history remember that in our time, we did not stay silent. We rose.